What's up everyone in YuGiOh YouTube land? This is Jesse Byrne representing Team FTK, and today I'm coming at you guys with my Mystic Mine burn deck. It's basically just like a stall burn deck. It's pretty cool. It's very different from builds that you've seen before. It's not technically like the trap build, and it's not like Jeff's build, you know, the guy who topped with Mystic Mine burn. It's kind of like my own unique Jesse Byrne build, if you will. So yeah guys, basically wanted to let you know that I'm back making deck profiles. I want to at least try to push out one video once a week. So let me know what you guys think. Always like, comment, and subscribe for more. Yeah, and I'll get into the deck and show you guys what I'm playing. Alright guys, so here's my Mystic Mine burn deck, Wave Motion Cannon, Cauldron of the Old Man, control deck, whatever you'd like to call it. A lot of people like to call it a troll deck, a degenerate deck, but whatever you like to call it, you might as well get used to it because it's going to be around in the meta. The ban list did not touch Mystic Mine, and so it's still at full power. Of course, we don't have 3 Metaverse and all that other stuff, but it was really too broken to begin with. So what we're going to do is go over the deck, and I'm going to show you my card choices. I have my main deck, extra deck, and then I have some side deck options for you guys just in case you want to take it to locals and try it out. This is not going to be the most like consistent best list ever. This is more of a budget friendly list because I'm not running Pot of Extravagance. There's no use in spending $75 on a card. So yeah, basically I'm going to get into this list right now and show you guys what I play. Starting off with the main deck, we have, of course, 3 copies of Lilith, Lady of the Labyrinth. She basically just searches out your normal trap cards. So she searches out your YuGiOh and your Metaverse. I'm not playing a heavy list of normal trap cards, even though I am running Lilith. She is basically just to get me to my YuGiOhs. And then I have, starting off for the burn engine, straight into the spells, we have 3 Cauldron of the Old Man. Cauldron of the Old Man is really good because unlike Wave Motion Cannon, you don't have to sacrifice your counters that are placed on it. You can just keep burning your opponent, so each turn basically it gains a counter. When you first activate it, it gets a counter, and then during each standby phase it gets another counter. And basically you just save up the counters and you burn your opponent for 300 times the amount of counters on it. Or you can heal for 500 for each counter, so it's really good. So sometimes you'll just have this and you'll just, you know, burn for 300, next turn burn for 6, 9, and so on until you basically just kill your opponent. It's really good. It's basically like a faster Wave Motion Cannon, like just a mini Wave Motion Cannon, but it's a better card than Wave Motion Cannon. And the reason that we're playing 3, I'll show you in a minute why. Then same for Wave Motion Cannon. This is the OG MVP though, because you just wait 8 turns, burn your opponent for game. It gets a counter during each standby phase, and then each counter is basically equivalent to 1,000 damage, so you just wait 8 turns, sack this, burn your opponent for 8,000 damage. Really good, no problem when you have 3 Mystic Mine. Moving on, 3 Mystic Mine in the main deck. This card to me is really broken, and I know a lot of you players don't like it and think it's degenerate. I think it has a purpose of being in the game because we have so many back row removal options. Like there's Twin Twister, Cosmic Cyclone, Evenly Matched. You know, the list goes on and on. People still main decking Mystical Space Typhoon and Sky Strikers and stuff like that will just destroy this. So I feel like it's relevant and it can be in the game, but at the same time it's a really broken card because you can still games with this. Just basically if your opponent doesn't have an out, you win. Usually if your opponent doesn't have an out, you do win. But we play other cards to protect Mystic Mine. So 3 Field Barrier to protect Mystic Mine. Basically makes it where it can't be destroyed. You have to destroy this first. So that's why we play it, so that way our opponent has to jump through more hoops to be able to destroy our Mystic Mine. And then to get to our Mystic Mine faster is Demise of Land. Whenever your opponent special summons a monster, you get to basically activate a field spell from your deck. So it's really good because you can activate Mystic Mine straight from your deck and disrupt your opponent's plays. Say if they want to make a link play or something, they special summon 1 monster, then they special summon another. They automatically have 2 monsters. You activate this, and then you activate Mystic Mine from your deck, and then just slow down games and make your opponent hate you. So then moving on to the non-related burn or stall spells, for now anyways.
Okay.
Then moving on to the draw cards, we have 2 Pot of Duality. The reason I'm only playing 2 is just because I wanted to fit different things in the deck and make it more unique. I don't feel like you have to max out on 3, but if that's your personal preference and you want to, be my guest. And then this is my replacement for Pot of Extravagance, is because I'm a budget player, so I play Pot of Desires. That's why I'm playing 3 copies of like Cauldron of the Old Man and 3 copies of all my other spells. Is just basically because if I banish them, I don't want to be shit out of luck and basically just like lose the game. So that's why I play 3-Wave Motion Cannon as well, is basically if I banish other copies, you know, I won't be screwed. So Desires is alright. If you guys have Extravagance and have the money and are fortunate enough to afford it, then go ahead and play that. But I'm cheap, so I'm just playing this. And then we have 2 Left Arm Offering, which is really good. I don't want to play 3 because it's kind of cloggy, but every time I do resolve this card, I basically win because I just get to add any type of spell card I want for my hand, to my hand, excuse me, so I can just add any spell card that I need to be able to complete my combos. And then we have the Goddess card right here. Its first effect is useless. We don't play Goddess monsters. The next effect is the relevant one. You get to look at the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck once per turn and rearrange them in any order. So it's really good because if your opponent has, of course, like the out to your Mystic Mine or the out to your Wave Motion Cannon or Field Barrier or something like that, you basically just stack it on the bottom of their deck. So you basically just be like, oh, I see a Twin Twister, put it at the bottom, and then just keep putting it down and down. And then we have the 1 card of Demise. It's a God card. This card's really busted. It should have been banned a long time ago, but now it's recently featured at 1. So that's why I like playing this with the 2 Left Arm Offering, is because 2 Left Arm Offering is almost like a replacement for Card of Demise because it gets you to what you need. It's not as good because it doesn't let you draw 3 cards, but it gets you to what you need. So that's why we play that. And then we have the 1 Card of Demise just because that's all we're allowed to play now. So we have to make it work. I feel worse for people playing like True Dracos than me playing Burn because you can basically just substitute anything with Burn. And then for the last spell to round off the spells is our Terraforming, just to get to Mystic Mine faster. It's a good card. I wish it was at 3 still so I could play Trickstar Shenanigans and be able to play this card in more decks. But 1 Terraforming is good. Search out that Mystic Mine. And then for protection cards, Dark Bribe, Solemn Judgment, just to be able to stop your opponent's out. So if your opponent has, you know, of course, Evenly Matched or Twin Twister, you just want to block that. We don't mind paying half life points. That's okay. And then we don't mind if our opponent draws a card because usually they're not going to draw an out after we negate their out. That would just be plain bad luck. And then we had the 1 Metaverse, 3 Geometrio. This is the targets for Lilith. I'm not playing a whole bunch of traps. I just want to be able to get to my combo pieces the fastest. So I want to be able to get to Geometrio really fast. So I want to be able to get to Metaverse. And if I don't get to it off of Lilith, hopefully I can get to it off of my draw power. So it's no problem playing that. And then 2 new additions to the deck is the Curse of Forbidden Spell. This card's really good because if your opponent basically activates like a Twin Twister or something, they can't activate it again for the rest of the game and you negate it. So it's really good. I like playing it a lot. It basically helps, you know, with protection factors. I might cut it and put it in the side deck, but for now I think it's good in the main. I like this build. It's kind of a unique build in my opinion. It's a fun budget build. So moving on to the extra deck, it really doesn't matter other than to throw your opponent off. So we got the 2 Mrs. Radiance, the Ring of Destruction, the Warrior Fusions, you know, just a bunch of stuff that I put in there real quick because we don't actually utilize the extra deck. I just kind of put it in there because if I'm going against my opponent and they know that I don't have an extra deck, there's only so many things that they can assume that I'm playing. And also, if you guys do have Extravagance, make sure to make yourself a extra deck so you can banish cards and draw cards for free. So yeah, that's the only purpose of the extra deck. No other purpose. So moving on to side deck, 4 side deck options. You guys can always main deck Lava Golem, which is really good for stopping big boards. You just tribute over your opponent's monster, and then they're going to take 1,000 damage during their standby phase, which is really good. And, you know, if you give this to your opponent under Mystic Mine, it's like they just have a useless monster that's 3k and they can't attack with it or do anything. And then we have 2 more trap targets for Lilith, Heavy Storm Duster. Just basically to snipe back row in case your opponent's like, oh, you know, I'm going to MST them next turn, set my MST. You just pop this during their end phase. It's also really good against the Solomon Great matchup because you can just pop their Roar and Rage after they set them, assuming you go first. Really good. And then we have 2 Unending Nightmare. This was originally in there because of True Draco for side deck options, but I don't know how many True Draco players we're going to see, but Diagram's really annoying, so I just want to pay 1,000 and pop it. And then it's not once per turn, it's once per chain, so you can just keep activating it over and over again, popping their cards. So it's really good. It's also really good for things like Imperial Order in case you don't have like an out to it. Like in case you didn't draw your Dark Bribe or your Solemn Judgment, you can just go Unending Nightmare and then pop their card. Really good card. I love it. I might consider main decking it, but for now it's good in the side. And we also have, you know, Imperial Order as a side deck option just because so many things rely on banishing. A lot of these cards were in the side deck were from the previous format, so I was using this like against Orcus and Thunder Dragons. I don't know how many of those are going to be seen, you know, moving on since the new ban list, the new January ban list. But right now I'm totally okay with having this in a side or as a side deck option because there's still going to be those players at locals or maybe regionals that you'll see, and they'll have a weird deck that utilizes banishing and you can just stop them from doing that. And then finally we have 1 Prohibition just to declare a card name, something like Twin Twister, Cosmic Cyclone. They can't use it for the rest of the game as long as you know they're playing it. 1 Pancratops because Konami hates us and never lets us have good things. This could be a 3 of in any situation in almost any deck. It looks really pretty in secret though, but it's a 1 of, which is really weird why Konami would hit this card, but that's a ban list discussion for another time. If you guys would like to see me, you know, ramble about the ban list and give my opinion, let me know down in the comments section. And then we also have Macrocosmos and Dark Ruler No More. Usually Dark Ruler No More is like a 3 of. I would like it as a 3 of, but I personally only own 1 copy. I will probably try to order some more, but I don't really go to locals or anything, so that's why I don't trade or anything. So if you hear me say like, oh, I only have 1 of this card, that's because I'm just not willing to spend money to like get extra copies right now because I just don't play competitively and it's more for fun. So yeah, this was basically my template for my Burn Mystic Mind deck. And yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I will try to come at you guys at least once a week with new videos, and I'm really excited to try to get back into it, playing the game and doing deck profiles as well. If you guys have anything that you would like to say down in the comments, leave me suggestions or anything like that, please go ahead. And always thank you for watching and supporting Team FTK. Jesse Byrne, out.